Okay guys, hello and welcome to another edition of RepSense trainings broadcasted live from our office here in Vilnius. Today I will be talking about how online reputation works, and for those who are new to our webinars, I would like to remind you that every Wednesday I host a training session for those who are just starting with online reputation management or has recently joined us at RepSense. And every Thursday we delve deeper into the subject with sessions dedicated to professionals looking to advance in online reputation management. Our webinar is being streamed live on RepSense YouTube channel, and I would like to ask you to use this opportunity to ask you to hit that subscribe button and join our channel to stay updated for the future events. Also, revisit us in case you missed it or missed any part of it. Additionally, the video will be available on the event page at www.repsense.io after the session, of course. So if you want to share with your peers, send them a link, and also feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions, to say hi, or leave a comment during my presentation. I will be happy to address them towards the end of the session. Depending on the number of questions and discussion this ensures, this should take something about an hour. So let's dive straight into the topic, and let me tell you about how reputation works without any further ado. Okay, just skipping the slides like this. Good. So, yep. So I attended an event yesterday, and the event focused on reputation index, where companies were evaluated based on the opinions of various groups, including opinion leaders and decision makers, as well as society as a whole. And one company ranked quite low among all of these groups, but when measured using RepSense tools, its ranking was above the average and its online presence looked pretty good. The company in question is a big logistics company that recently went through a public scandal regarding underpayment of employees, faking expenses, and using immigrant workers to make them work long hours. And although the scandal was widely condemned, the company's online reputation remains strong. Throughout the night, social media platforms were flooded with bursts of outrage, with many people questioning how a company with so many public accusations could maintain a positive reputation image online. And of course, while it is a phenomenon that has puzzled many, but it also opened our eyes to see how effective some of online reputation management strategies can be. The truth is that online reputation management is a complex and constantly evolving field. And with many tools and techniques that companies can use to shape their online reputation, the success of these strategies often depends on the specific circumstances in each case that are different. In some of the cases, companies may be successful to mitigate the negative publicity by taking a swift and decisive action, while in others the damage may be too severe to repair. Ultimately, the key to effective online reputation management is to be proactive rather than reactive. And companies that are proactive in monitoring their online activities are better positioned to respond quickly and effectively to the negative publicity. They're also more likely to maintain a positive reputation in the long run, or have an audience that they can reach out to in case there is a crisis. So when was the last time you looked up for how your potential employees see you when they search for work at your company online? Do you measure it? Do you know how to track it? Do you know how to influence search visibility? Let's talk about it. Hope you have a plan, but let me tell you about techniques how to make this plan. Okay, so let's talk about what shapes the future of public relations and also what techniques can have the biggest impact on your reputation. While digital storytelling has been around for a while and it's changing the way we advertise, so we are rather than running simple ads, we are now focused on telling compelling stories to our audiences. And social listening is another technique that becomes increasingly important. However, it's not only simply listening. Companies must also react in a timely manner and create the content that resonates with their audiences, which means that opinions can help them conduct their own research before making a decision what to post online. Social listening has disrupted industries and influenced major decisions already. Just to give you an example, like Brexit or the election of Donald J. Trump. Having a role in society and a social purpose is not only important for a company's reputation, but it also becomes a major factor in employer branding. Companies with clear social purpose are more likely to attract top talent and also have a higher employer satisfaction. There's data analysis and also data insights and data-driven decision making. These have been a hot topic for at least a couple of years now. And companies that are able to leverage data to make better decisions are more likely to succeed. But nobody wants to have the numbers only. What we're looking now is insights, decisions that we can make based on data. And finally, behavioral research is another factor that can have a significant impact on your public relations. By understanding human behavior and decision-making, companies can create more effective marketing campaigns and better communicate to their audiences. So, in conclusion, I want to say that there are many factors that shape the future of public relations, and companies must stay up to date with the latest technologies and strategies to maintain their positive reputation online. But what it means to have a reputation for something? When we talk about reputation, we are referring to the opinion that people have about someone or a company based on the experiences of past actions. And to have a reputation for something means that you are known and remembered particularly for that trait or characteristic or maybe behavior. This reputation can be positive and negative, depending on what people have experienced in the past connected to the object that is being talked about. So, for example, if someone has a reputation for being a great cook, it usually means that people perceive that you're consistently producing delicious meals. And, I like to cook, but not every time this is a 100% success. Well, conversely, if a business has a reputation for poor customer service, it means that people perceive them consistently providing unsatisfactory service to their customers. So, one trait that's associated with your brand or the company then resonates to all the other services that you are doing. Reputation matters because it can impact how we perceive others and our success in various endeavors. A positive reputation can lead to a great opportunity, maybe more positive relationships, while with negative, you can limit your opportunities and damage those relationships. Okay, let me just switch the slide. Okay. So in today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with new information, and it has become it's hard to remember everything. Our memories are fragmented. It's hard to recall information source. But with today, we have a luxury to have easy access to online search and tools like Google. This means that we don't have to spend the valuable brain space trying to memorize unnecessary information that we can simply look up later. Forgetfulness, on the other hand, also plays impact on reputation as people's memories fade over time. And in some cases, this can be beneficial for the brand as negative experiences may be forgotten But Google does not forget. Online has a natural decay rate for content, meaning that older content gradually will lose its visibility and relevance. Well, due to content decay, brands should consistently produce fresh, high quality content to maintain strong online presence. Another important part is the reinforcing of these positive memories. Through consistency and engaging interactions and presence online, many can include regular communication updates or exceptional customer service or reviews as a part of their reputation evolvement. So you need to be proactive to be visible online, and even if there is something that you don't necessarily like, this information will become history. Daniel Wegner's transactive memory theory suggests that individuals rely on others, or especially on the groups, to remember information. While the shared memory system enhances overall group performance and efficiency to remember more about the object. Essentially, the theory proposes that a group can collectively remember more than individuals can do on their own, and this is why this is a more effective method. Mr. Daniel has updated his theory after the rise of internet and social media, because platforms such as social media or review sites and maybe blogs or search engine as a whole become a collective memory bank that can be used to collect information about company, brand, subject, event, and their reputation. Online platforms aggregate user experience, opinions, and reviews and create this collective memory that significantly impacts brand's reputation. Search engines like Google can enhance and hinder brand's reputation based on the relevance of the search results. So nothing has been changed. The whole idea is that how do you control your story online? What's the story you're telling and what people can find when they look for you? But then an object like Sunday News, where 80% of the society was getting information from, is no longer there. We live in our information bubbles and gather information from different sources. So how do we get this fragmented media that's scattered along the channels? And what sources do we possess in our storytelling? Of course, probably this peso model is not new. It's paid, earned, shared, and owned. So these are 4 categories of content that can be available online, connected to your brand and your company. And of course, when we talk about the owned content, we'll be talking about our website, maybe a newsletter we're sending, or some of the content that we create by ourselves. And to get the earned media, of course, we need media relations. We need media to have interest in us. So usually, either we do an analysis or a market research, we go to online media or public media and give them content to publish and talk about, and what our brand is mentioned already. And if that content is engaging and people like it, it can be shared. So the shared media will rise. And of course, with the power of social media and ability to get a lot of viewers and interaction, both positive and in many cases negative content can become shared many times, and it can have a very sudden and impactful effect on your brand image. And of course, with paid media, we can buy ads, from digital storytelling and content marketing to traditional, or something that is now already a traditional ads like display advertising or search advertising for the same Google search results. But I want you to understand the concept of noise and signal and the difference that it sends. So once I'm looking for something on Google search, tip, I will get a list of search results, the whole in the whole media, but reactively, when people hear that information, they might be going online and searching for the keywords that they heard in this whole noise. So when I'm searching for something connected to the noise that I just recently heard, it is recommended that you as a brand creating the noise should have put something already online, so the people searching for that information will find you. So what we're doing here at RepSense, we're actually measuring that signal that your brand is sending, corresponding to the stakeholder groups that might be interested in you. Let's say your potential employee will be conducting a totally different search queries than your potential client looking to buy a product from you. And of course, an investor view will be totally different from the media view, or the first view that media wants to create when they look for the company information and CEO's information and so on. So when we analyze search engine result pages from 1 week to second week and third week and so on and so on, we can see how the information in the search results is changing and which content is going up, and analyzing whether it's a positive sentiment content or something that will impact your brand's reputation positively, or is it a negative content that can impact your brand's reputation negatively. Also, how your competition looks. Is there any type of content that is about your competitor that is going up in their Google positions, or maybe dropping down, so it's being eliminated from that content, trying to make sure that society forgets that. So when we want to measure these things, and we want to measure noise, usually we use traditional brand awareness metrics like share of voice and audience that has been reached, or advertising value. So these are the metrics that will help us to analyze and compare the size of the noise. But then when we want to measure the impact it creates, we will look at social media engagement, maybe the sentiment of communication, how people are responding to the content, whether they are engaged with that, do they like it, what's the opinion of the audience, and this is where the whole social listening comes into play. But when we want them to act upon the content, they will have to do something to express their own interest, and usually it's going to be something like searching for your brand or your company or your product or the topic that was mentioned in the noise online. Well, there's several search engines. Probably Google will be the one that's getting most searches, with new AI generated content. Bing is expanding as well. But the question is, what do they find when they search for you? So what's the signal that you are sending, and what's the quality of that signal online? I just want to jump to the next slide, which shows like a small heat map on this whole NIIS model, that noise, impact, interest, signal, NIIS. And this shows the importance of what RepSense is measuring. So we are measuring the interest in you, what's like most likely the proactive search or a share of search that you are getting comparing to the whole industry or your competitors, and also the quality of the signal that you are sending to the media. Just want to spend some time on this graph, trying to help you understand how RepSense algorithm works. And you have to understand that with every search result or search query that we are analyzing, we are looking at top 20 search positions, so top 20 results on Google search. So to be able to analyze that, algorithm assigns up to 50 parameters for every search result, looking for information whether the brand was mentioned in the title, how was the CEO mentioned in the content, what was the context that brand was mentioned in, also measuring the sentiment of that content, and so on. So we have up to 50 parameters per every search result. Now, usually for every profile or every view which corresponds to the your stakeholder group. It can be investors, potential employees, your clients, media, maybe just someone who's looking for a product or a category in the whole industry. We're gonna analyze from 3 to 7 keywords. So for 6 profiles and 3 keywords each, up to 20 search results and 50 parameters on top of that, we are looking at least 7.5 million data points that needs to be analyzed to calculate this RSI index or represents index. What also is being done most often, we do it not only in one region. So let's say you're doing a good business in UK, but you are not as known in United States. Most likely your image in these countries and your reputation in these countries will be different, because Google is based on a language and the location. The search results will differ by every country and also by every language that is being searched on. And what's also important here, that coming from Lithuania, with one of the oldest and one of the most difficult languages, we don't have a problem speaking Slovenian, Czech, Bulgarian, or any other European language that you might be having people searching for your brand. So we try to do an estimate. This should take up to 12 weeks for a person to do the job if that has been done manually. So it's a lot of time, and the time that Represents is saving for you, so that you can use our algorithm. It's not expensive, it's very approachable. We have a very nice team of customer success that can get you on board. So if you like this opportunity, you want to join it, you want to have a demo, go on our website and book for a demo today. And one of my colleagues, the sales representative or customer success team, will join you and will tell you more about it, what's happening in the industry, make a demo for you, and so on. So when we analyze this data, we have a lot of information that we want to build something from. So I want to go through a couple of tools or products, as we should say it, that we can build from this data. So first of all, the share of search. So what we are tracking is how many people from the whole category searching for the products and brands in your category are searching for you, and also how many of them are searching for your competitors. Share of search can predict market share. We have a second presentation about it, and if you join us next Thursday, we'll be talking exactly about the correlation between the market share and share of search. But it also can help you track the impact of your communication. The momentum that it's generating. Are people going online and actively searching for you when you send that noise out? And also, we want to see how this leads for your audiences to react on the information that's being sent. So what type of queries will they put in Google when they search for something connected to your brand? There's also a discovery view, another product of ours, probably one of the oldest one, the one we started with. And this is the one that is like your first look, the first image that you can get. And it's hard to you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. And here, there's a lot of factors that play along. First of all, the diversity of search results. When somebody is searching for you and the only thing they find is your homepage, that's the only source of information that you can make decision on. And these days, people want to get reviews. They want to see what else is out there, what other people are talking about you. Most likely, they will keep on searching. So you want to be in control. You want to have a good discovery view, so you claim all the low-hanging fruits like social media platforms, Wikipedia, your Google Maps, and so on. So when it's someone searching for you, you've got that real estate. So whole Google first page is about you, and that's your territory. Also, as I already talked, RepSense Index is one of the most complicated products we have, which analyzes big amounts of data to give you that one index that will show how well your reputation is performing. And something below 50, because it's a scale from 0 to 100, and something below 50 is an average normally. Something if you're around 45, 42, there's place for improvement. You can also, if you're above 70, you're on a good path, but it's hard to get 100. So we are analyzing, up to 15 queries over 80 factors for every profile. And this is where your stakeholder views come in, so you can look from the different perspective. Maybe you are looking good as a company in your communication about your products and your services, but what's your image from the employer branding perspective? What do people talk about you? But they want to come to work for you. And to give you the thing that everybody wants. So instead of just giving you the numbers, the data that you need to analyze yourself, we generate insights for you. So once you log into our tool, you can look through the insights and recommendation, what can be done next to improve your online reputation. What are the low-hanging fruits? Where are you lacking with the content? And what can be done to help you get more reputation and be more visible? So this concludes the introduction part of today's session. And I want to use this opportunity to go into the demo and give you a small look around the RepSense app. I also see some comments and questions coming up. Very nice, thank you. So I'll be coming back to those a little bit later. Okay, so very nice. So this is the first page. This is the overview result when you log into RepSense app. And what you see here, let me just load this again. And this is for a company, capital.com. So first information that we have here is the index or RepSense index that's being calculated. And in this case, I'm looking at the US. So capital.com has a reputation index at 41% in United States. So if I switch this to United Kingdom, it's going to take a little bit while to upload. It's going to be at 45. And with every month, every collection of data that we have, this we are updating the information here to see how your reputation index is performing. A sudden drop in your reputation index will most likely indicate that there is some content that's being collection information for the RSI index. Also, in the interest category, you will see the amount of searches that that your brand is generated comparing to the average monthly searches per category. So let's say in this case, capital.com is getting about 2,000 searches connected to them from 360,000 searches that are being done on Google connected to the category. So, there is some information or some space to conquer yet. So once I go down here a little bit, I'm also looking at the competitors. And in this case, I'm looking at eToro, Binance, and other investment platforms. And you can see your, how you look versus your competitors. So let's say in this case, RSI of 41%. It's not that bad because the industry average is around 47, so there's some room for improvement, but you're not below the average, not so much below the average. And the worst from these is around 34. So 65 in this case will be the best result, and I guess 65 will be something like that eToro has, or who's there else? Well. But this is where you can be if you can use the insights and utilize these ideas. So also we are automatically generating insights. There's about 50 behavioral models that we try to assign to every content that's being published online to see what can be your low-hanging fruits. And of course, this is where here, for example, the brand is not mentioned in the discovery view, your entity box is missing, some links are missing and so on, which is a very good tool if you're a public relations department or an agency who's looking for ideas. What should I do next to improve my online reputation? And let me just go a little bit further, and I want to jump into the news category. So let's just to see, how are we being seen on Google News. And Google News will generate news content from every media publisher. In this case, it also show the top domains where the content is generated. Yahoo, in this case, for US is a top channel, and in here we have of course the source, which is capital.com, and in this case they are number one, and the sentiment is high. The score is 100%, so it's a search result that is very, very well polished to meet their needs. But of course we have something in the that's ranked at -45, and it's a new content in the news, so it kind of changes the way you're doing your media monitoring. And right now we can also see here what types of media content will go into Google News, and it's no longer having 100% sentiment. Inventors wake up, hybrid capital is not a free lunch. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look and go into this website, and we see some investors waking up. Okay, I'll agree to that. And here's the content. Okay, well, the content is being analyzed. So by looking at that, you can also go into your whole industry and compare against your competitors. Let me just wait a little bit for this profile to load. And let's say how you might want to be comparing yourself to another company. Let's say I want to look at eToro. The profile diagram also shows the different profiles: your first look, your CEO, your customer, your employee profile. How do you match them? What is the area for improvement if you need to do something? So, and there's a lot of factors that play along in this, and one of them I've already mentioned, which is SERP diversity. But there are a lot of other tools, other factors that play along in this case, and it's a complex system. It's hard to tell everything right now, but really encourage you to give us a call and book a demo and see what's for your industry, for your category, and what's out there. So like information quality, the hero content, what kind of content are you creating that resonates along the other media that is being shared and published? The SERP diversity, how many different channels you have. Localization also shows, how local your content is. And so on. The use of rich snippets and other Google features will play along as well. So there's a bunch of information that's being used and being analyzed. Okay, so let me just switch back to this view, and let me just go to the questions right now. So feel free, if you have any more questions, post them online. I'll just try to answer them at the moment. So the question is from Domantas: how do we calculate the ROI for webbutation? What angle should we focus on when presenting the necessary budget, tools, and etc.? Thank you, Domantas. I think it's a very good question, because how do you attribute the value to organic search? And I think coming from the area of digital marketing and performance marketing, we know that with performance marketing, value attribution used to be very easy. We either look at the first click or we look at the last click, like performance marketing campaigns, and we try to understand whether this channel was generating the basic interest and bringing the people to our website for the first time, or was this the performance channel that was generating conversions. And I think in many of these cases of analyzing value attribution, we see that organic search is the mystical area. Maybe someone who's working with SEO will tell them, okay, this is the impact that we are generating by optimizing our website for Google search, and this is how we get new visitors for our website from the category keywords or non-branded keywords. But what happens when somebody is looking for a branded keyword connected to your business or your product? And normally this is also going to go to the organic search, but that part, from my experience, in many cases is considered, oh, they know our brand, so they've seen our ads, they know about a company. But all the visitors that come from the source which is Google organic usually gets neglected. And I think in this case there's a lot of value that is being attributed to the organic search keywords that a brand associated with the brand to measure the results of these campaigns. On the other hand, when we look at all the direct visitors to the website who know the brand, who know the website address of our brand, they will, something has to happen outside of the the performance marketing campaigns to get them to know your brand, to know your site, and to visit them. And I guess in many of the cases, Google Analytics and analytical tools like that, they will not be effective to measure those. What we are doing here, we are of course trying to disrupt the industry in a way to give some statistics and an index to something that has not been measured previously: public relations activities. Because when we talk to marketing and sales department, usually public relations and marketing departments say that the sales are lacking in result, and the sales are saying, we're not getting enough support from the marketing. And while performance marketing played a big role to give very active support to sales, there are visitors coming to the website, they're buying, while with public relations, that's normally there was no number except brand awareness metrics like share of voice, or using focus groups and doing media monitoring to analyze what was performance. Here you have an index that's constantly being updated and shows the effectiveness of your online reputation, your visibility, how people are finding you. And also, is your marketing activities correlating with the changes of index? You send a lot of information, and this. I want to use this opportunity actually and jump into another presentation. I have this prepared, but I just want to look at one very particular example in this case. Let me just change my screen a little bit so you could see the slides. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see this. Okay, so I think that's going to be a better view. Okay, so very interesting story. And in this case, I'm talking about share of voice, and also a change in the market share. Because normally when you put money to get more visibility, you invest in share of voice, you also expect for your market share to grow. And in this case, we can see a lot of brands who've invested into additional visibility or public visibility also had a raise in share of the market. But this is not the case with the brand A, because the brand A did not get the estimated share of market growth comparing to the additional investment that it invested in more visibility. But when we look from a little bit other perspective, we also see that additional investment in visibility in the share of voice got additional or got a change in the share of search. So that you can see that investment generated interest, and the brand grew at an expected rate. But it's not the campaign that needs attention, which most likely, without correspondence in the market share, public relations and marketing department will get grilled, telling that well, the marketing campaigns were not effective. In this case, we can see that share of search can predict market share for some brands and categories in, without waiting for a few months lead time. We can give you numbers right now to see whether share of search is growing, is your interest in the product or the brand growing, and whether this is delivering or not. With all of us have been in the situation with bad customer service, and have the best marketing, but maybe customer service is not good enough for us to make the purchase decision. So I think analyzing share of search is another good way to see correlations between your marketing investment and also the impact of these campaigns. But as I already mentioned before in the previous slides, do you send the right signal? Is the signal there? Can people find you? Is this something that they are looking for? And if they are looking for you but there's no page like that and they're not finding you, or the product is no longer available, sorry, but I know some of the Christmas campaigns which could have sold 3 times the amount of products they had, but they did not, because the product was not available, and those days iPhone was not easy to get. Okay, so this was a long answer to a long question, I'd say. But I would like to thank Domantas for this opportunity. And guys, if you have any more questions, please post them online. If not, I would like to say thank you for spending this afternoon with me. And I would like to remind you that every Wednesday you can join us for our webinars on RepSense YouTube channel. Also, this video will be sent to you and posted on our website. If you want to share with someone, go ahead, send them a link to our YouTube channel or to our website at www.repsense.io/learn. This is where all of our learning center videos are, and we will be bringing more of them. And also, I would like to use this opportunity, join us every Thursday, where we have a little bit more information how to delve deeper in this, and also book a demo with my colleague Robertas. He's a great guy. He's going to tell you more about RepSense and give you the showcase of the tool, and maybe you can make this a new business opportunity. Thank you for today, and have a good afternoon. Have a great day.